Hello and welcome to this latest Lukozer retro game review, and for this one we have Highlander for Commodore 64, and yes, this is the official license film tie-in, and when it comes to Commodore 64 and film tie-ins it can only mean one thing, and that is, of course, that it's made by Ocean. Now, Ocean film tie-ins usually gives you a pretty good idea of what to expect. At the moment we are hearing one of the high points, which is a Martin Galway rendition of Queen's A Kind of Magic. So it has that going for it. A decent song by one of the best bands of all time, and a version that has been made by one of the best Commodore 64 musicians. So it's not got off to a bad start, has it? Now sadly, this game doesn't feature that memorable scene in the film where you have a Scotsman playing a Spaniard asking a Frenchman playing a Scotsman what haggis is. But what it does have is, well, not really much way of describing it other than showing you. Here we go. Now, I am playing MacLeod on the left, and I am fighting Ramirez on the right, who's just knocked me on the floor. And as you can see, this game is essentially played in the same way that you would play the game Barbarian. As you can also see, it looks like MacLeod and Ramirez have both put on a tremendous amount of weight. And we're both taking big chunks out of each other, but I am, well, certainly doing a lot worse off. But unlike Barbarian, for every hit I get, I manage to, well, either of us, if we score a hit, it manages to increase our energy as well as decrease the others. But I took too many hits and lost my head. So I lost that first battle. I say first battle, we'll start her up again. This is the entire game. Indeed, the only differences were what your opponent looked like and the background, but in order to see those you had to reset the computer and reload a different game, or reload it from a different part of tape, or a different actual disc or whatever. But yes, this is it. This is the entire thing. Now, whilst I am playing this, I'm essentially just doing completely random moves. There is no skill involved whatsoever. I mean, you can't actually see the hits, whether you are doing the hitting or the opponent is hitting you. You can't see a bloody thing. I say it is a case of just randomly moving and holding the fire button and trying to get, some sort of movement going, and often failing. But in terms of actually doing anything, okay, I won that one, and I couldn't for the life of me tell you how I did that, especially as it seems he's still got some energy left. So we'll try a third battle, because it is that gripping. On guard, fat Sean Connery. And yeah, we just once again I'm basically just moving up, then left, and then up and left. Actually no, it's right I'm doing, not left. If I do fire and left, in fact, yeah, I do defensive moves, which seem to be a bit pointless. There is almost no point at all in defending. Down doesn't seem to do anything. Well, actually, none of them seem to do anything. I mean, it looks like I'm scoring hits, but yeah. The only way I can tell that I'm scoring hits is because his energy bar goes down. But you cannot actually see a single hit on screen. So basically, if you know, want to play Barbarian, but prefer seeing overweight cartoon characters that don't look like they're actually hitting each other at all, and having it played out at a speed that's, I'd say, a tenth the speed of Barbarian, then here it is, Highlander. If, however, you think this game looks like an absolute sack of fucking monkey's bollocks, then yeah, I quite agree. And there's a very good reason why it looks like that, because that is exactly what it is. And I mean, this is painful confession time. I did actually have this game back in the day. I used to buy Ocean games religiously because I always wanted to hear the latest music from either Martin Galway or Fred Gray or Jonathan Dunn or any of the others who wrote music for the games there. So it meant I had a significant number of games that were absolute bollocks like this. But I had some decent music. The only trouble is, of course, I had to load shit like this onto my computer in order to hear them. So yes, so how do I go about rating this? Well, believe it or not, this is not the worst game Ocean ever made. They genuinely did make worse, and if anybody has ever so much as looked at their game of Knight Rider will know this only too well. And it's a toss-up as to which is worse between this or Top Gun, and they both are absolute shit on a stick, but yeah, you really couldn't toss a coin really to decide which is the worst. And I bought this in a day. I really think they saw me coming. You got to ask yourself, why would Martin Galway, who clearly has a talent for, for a musician, want to put his name onto something like this when, he knows that, okay, he's got a decent, piece of music done again, but everyone's going to say, well, the game's shit, so I don't give a toss about whether the music's any good. It's only pricks like me who back in the day went around buying Ocean games just for the music that, would ever actually get to hear them. So, yeah, it just defies belief. I mean, it really does defy belief that Ocean actually released this and thought, yeah, this is exactly the sort of game that fans of Highlander would want to see. And yet, that's precisely what they did. So my rating, well, I'll give it 1 out of 10 because it has a pretty good rendition of A Kind of Magic by Queen from, the hands of Martin Galway. But that is the only good thing about it. Everything else about this game is just absolute bollocks. So there you go. That's Highlander, the computer game from Ocean for you. See you at the next one.